Hey guys, welcome to our tiny house. Today we're going to be talking about the Lunos E2 heat recovery ventilation system. So firstly, why would you want to install a heat recovery ventilation system in your tiny house, or for that means in any home? Back in the day, housing in New Zealand tended to be native timbers, had big air gaps, you get draft coming up through the house and the air escaping. So that meant that any moisture introduced, i.e. through showering, living, cooking, was expelled through these big gaps. The problem with this is that you're also losing all your heat straight through the big gaps. And that back in the day didn't matter so much. You had a massive fireplace, crank it up, she'll be sweet. So now the trend is, in New Zealand homes and around the world, is that the home building envelopes are getting tighter and tighter. So that means this moisture now has nowhere to go, or very little place to go. And so it condensates in your room, you end up with high humidity, mould issues, and not such a pleasant place to be living in if it's not dealt with. So that brings us on to mechanical heat recovery ventilation systems. Now they come in different shapes and size and forms, but basically they're bringing fresh air into the home and expelling stale air out. And say you're on a cold night, they're actually bringing in the cold air, and then they've got a heat exchanger in them of some description, and it warms that air, that cold air coming in, and warms it to the temperature that the air is going out at, or pretty close to it. Now tiny homes exacerbate this issue even more because they're tiny. So if you've got a few people living in your tiny house, just being in here you're giving off a lot of moisture. We've been living in ours a number of years, and if we've got, before we had the system, if we had three people in here having dinner, say, everything would condensate up. You could feel the air was decreasing. It wasn't that pleasant. And I know you can say, yep, we'll just open the window. But when it's like minus in nature, it can be like -2. It can be worse down south. You haven't always got that option just to open a window. Also for us, we've got heaps of mosquitoes. So if we open a window and we've got a light on at night, you don't want to be in here. So that's really where the system comes into play. And after we installed this a year ago, and after living with it for a year, as a bit of a test to see how it would go, I highly recommend everyone to install one of these. So there's different systems on the market, but the Lunos E2 seems to fit very well with the tiny house living, just because it's small, compact size, and sort of deals with these smaller air volumes really well. So it's a German-made system. One's bringing fresh air in for a minute, and then this one here will be expelling the air in that same minute, and then they actually switch over. So in there's basically a motor that spins away in a tube. So this tube can be drilled into your wall, and it can either be retrofitted or done when you're building your house. And then on the outside you can buy the Lunos grills, or you can make your own, as we've done out here. So our walls are about 140mm thick, so we've made this sort of standout plate to sit them on. So that's something to bear in mind. There is an actual amount of thickness that you do need to your walls to install them, or you can have them poking outside, inside, or both. So the unit's actually got a flap, so you can close them up and shut them down. So in terms of energy used over a year, I've been told that it's $0.01 a day, so $36 a year to run them. So they use very little energy. So we've just got this simple temperature and humidity meter. As you can see, it's nice and warm in here at the moment with the house locked up in the sun, and that humidity's sitting quite nicely. So I just gauge that every now and again. That's just a little battery powered unit. It cost about $1 on eBay. See, fitting the controller into joinery was pretty straightforward for us, and you can see those Ethernet cables diving back into the wall there. So we did retrofit our one, and it was a pretty straightforward process, to be honest. Like anything though, it would be nicer to have designed it with the house initially. So you can also get a Lunos extraction fan for your bathroom. Also, we've decided just to go with the standard extraction fan. It's a pretty cheap one. It doesn't work amazingly well. If I was to do it again, yep, I'd probably spend the extra and get the Lunos, just knowing the quality and the quietness of these units. So when you're looking to buy one of these units, it is all broken down into quite a few different parts. So there's the unit, there's the transformer, there's the PVC tubes, there's the grills, and a few other bits and pieces. And this will be all broken down for you. We chose to mitigate a couple of those things just to save a bit of cost and just to suit our build, i.e. the vent on the outside of the house. So you can save a little bit of money. Bought this unit from the heating company, who are very knowledgeable about the product and could answer all of our technical questions, no problems. So the Lunos E2 unit in the video has since been replaced by the E2 Neo. Upgrades to this unit is higher airflow, can work in higher wind zones. It's got the same decibel rating as the previous unit. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. We've had a lot of questions about our unit, so I hope this answers some of those questions. But if you do have any other questions, feel free to comment below or flick over to our website for some more info. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.